Welcome back to part 3 of this leadership series. In part 1, we defined leadership. We discovered that leadership is not about titles, it's about responsibility, stewardship, direction. Then in part 2, we uncovered the 5 characteristics of exceptional leaders. We learned that great leaders are visionary, strategic, discerning, courageous, and wise. But today, we go even deeper because history has proven something dangerous. A person can possess vision, intelligence, strategy, influence, and still destroy people if character is absent. And that's where leadership becomes deeply personal, because leadership is not merely what you build. Leadership is who you become while building it. Today, we discuss character of great leaders and the greatest leadership model in history. So let's begin. One of the most important qualities of great leadership is self-control. Strong leaders must know how to exercise restraint. They don't respond emotionally to every situation. They understand that reactions have consequences. And this is especially important because leadership is pressure. Pressure from employees, customers, investors, family, critics, and the public at large. Pressure from expectations. One emotional decision can destroy trust, damage relationships, hurt the company culture, and create long-term consequences, negative consequences. But self-control allows leaders to pause, process, and respond wisely. Not every battle deserves a reaction. Not every criticism deserves a response. And some leaders lose influence, not because they lack intelligence, but because they easily lose control of their temperament. Next, great leaders are respectable. Great leaders carry themselves with dignity. The way a leader speaks, dresses, communicates, handles pressure, disappointment, the way a leader treats people, it shapes how others perceive leadership. Respect is not demanded. Remember, respect is earned. And respectable leadership creates confidence. People naturally trust leaders who demonstrate maturity because leadership is constantly teaching. Whether the leader realizes it or not, people are always learning from you, learning from the leader's silence, from their words, their behavior, their reactions, from their priorities. Class is always in session. So every leader must ask this question: what lesson is my life teaching today? Great leaders are hospitable. You see, hospitality is deeply underrated in leadership. People often think hospitality simply means being nice, but true hospitality means creating environments where people feel valued, safe, welcome, and accountable. The great leaders know how to make people feel seen. And this matters because people give their best effort in environments where they feel welcome. The toxic leaders, on the other hand, create fear, while healthy leaders create growth. Great leaders are able to teach. See, leadership is teaching. It's a lesson, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Once people accept you as a leader, they begin learning from everything you do, your habits. They begin learning from how you speak. Your discipline becomes culture. And this is why great leaders are excellent communicators, or need to be excellent communicators. Not because they talk the most, but because they clarify direction. A confused team cannot execute effectively. A confused family cannot move in unity. A confused organization eventually collapses. So great leaders simplify complexity. They teach people what matters, why it matters, and how to move forward in a way that matters. Great leaders are gentle under pressure. One of the rarest qualities in leadership is gentleness under pressure. And this is powerful because leadership is a hard seat. People criticize leaders publicly, question their decisions, blame them for failure, and sometimes attack them unfairly. But emotional instability often destroys leaders. The moment pressure comes, you see, one angry outburst, one public meltdown, it can diminish years of credibility. But there's something deeply powerful about a leader who remains calm when everyone expects them to explode. See, scripture says a gentle answer turns away wrath. Gentleness is not weakness. Gentleness is strength under control. And mature leaders understand calmness is strength. Next, great leaders are not quarrelsome. Nothing weakens leadership faster than constant public conflict. Some leaders spend too much time arguing online, fighting publicly, defending ego, and reacting emotionally to criticism. And eventually, people lose respect because mature leadership doesn't constantly seek conflict. Immature leaders create drama. They feed off of drama. But mature leaders know exactly how to quench the fire. Great leaders are not greedy. Greedy leadership destroys organizations, and greed is not limited to money. See, greed can appear in recruitment, promotion, decision-making, power, recognition, control. Greedy leaders prioritize personal benefit over long-term organizational health. And eventually, everyone suffers. Employees suffer, families suffer, the community suffers, the company suffers, nations suffer. Reckless leadership is greedy leadership, because it gambles with the lives and futures of others who are committed to the cause. Great leaders think beyond themselves. They think about sustainability, legacy, stewardship, impact. Great leaders also commit to leading their households well. One of the most overlooked leadership principles. Leadership at home. Scripture teaches that leaders should manage their households well. For if the household is out of order, how would they manage outside affairs? Why? Because leadership failure privately eventually becomes leadership failure publicly. A person who cannot sustain healthy leadership within their own home is a risk to a larger system. And this principle appears even in corporate leadership. There are high-level organizations that evaluate family stability, emotional maturity, and personal discipline before placing someone in a major leadership position. Because private instability often becomes public instability. One of my mentors once said, if your spouse is not aligned with your movement, your progress will be staggered. Leadership at home matters because leadership is not performance. Leadership is consistency. Who you are outside of the home should be an extension of who you are within the home. We should not be celebrating leaders that are amazing public figures, but pretty much abandon the home. So when you combine vision, wisdom, strategy, discernment, courage, self-control, gentleness, service, and everything in between, everything we have discussed in this series, what word do you get? For me, the one word is sacrifice. Leadership embodies sacrifice. A leader sacrifices comfort to create stability for others. A leader sacrifices convenience to sustain the vision. A leader sacrifices ego to preserve people. A true leader breathes life into something that would naturally be dying without their stewardship. So please like this one, subscribe, share, and I'll see you on the next one.